welcome to Midnight Sky, the show that takes you beyond yourself, beyond your imagination, behind all of your thoughts and your fears, your spirit, your soul. Takes you to the outer limits of the galaxy and back again in one 4-hour long show. As we're wrapping up tonight's show, we're going to be going into a couple of calls. Free range, as they say. Just like chicken. Kevin, before we get to the next calls, we have a sponsor that we have to get to.
That's right, we do. You know, sometimes when I'm working around the house, I just feel like I could use an extra hand, somebody to help me clean out the gutters or mow the lawn or, shovel the snow away from the driveway this time of year. And with People Forward, you can. Buying and selling people has never been easier, let me tell you. With People Forward, you can not only buy, purchase, and sequester a person of your choosing, whether it's from Vietnam, Prussia, or Indonesia. The choice is at your hand. If you've ever used eBay, well, you're going to love People Forward. It's from the same creators, so check them out. Their website is peopleforward.ppl. People Forward.
That's right. I wanted to have a child, and since my wife is barren, we decided to buy a child. People Forward had every sort of color and race and mix that you could want. I mean, we were looking at a kid in a wheelchair, and we thought, you know what? Even though it's a little bit cheaper, obviously. He had a sort of a weird leg thing that actually looked like it was like a tail. Anyway,
it was growing out of his tailbone.
It was just very odd, and we thought, all right, well, we could buy him. No, I don't think so. Do we want a girl? They're a little bit cheaper too, obviously. Do we want a white, or do we want a green? And at People Forward, they paint the kids your color, and then it's a whole process. We ended up just looking for the day, then we decided to go to the animal shelter, and we looked at dogs, and we always think it's funny, and we did this, we did this with a kid a couple of times, but we actually got the kid, and we got the dog in the car, and we started to drive away, and we thought, psych, we got you, and then
just kidding.
We just brought him back, and, just the look of, like, a little bit of fear, some anger, and just kind of confusion mixed in with a couple of tears. It was a cocktail that went down smooth. Kevin, we got a caller in Portland right now. How many lives do you want to live is their question. Portland, you're on the phone. Welcome to Midnight Sky.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I just graduated college, and I did some research into, it says that cats have 9 lives, and I was doing my research, my thesis paper on whether people, not reincarnation, but whether people can, once they die, if they can come back again and get a do-over or a mulligan.
Sure, and to start off with that first statement is this. Cats actually do have 1 lives. Trust me, I've gone through a lot of cats trying to figure out the magic code behind them, drowning them, strangling them, shooting them. And I've got a lawyer statement pre-signed that this show is meant to just be satirical and a parody, that I've never done any of those things. But between you and me, Portland, I have.
He has. I've seen him do it.
Now, did you say they have 1 lives or 9 lives? I didn't.
They have 1 life. So I had 1 cat, my first cat, Whiskers. I drowned him in the bathtub.
Oh.
Just a couple of inches of water, and it took care of it right away.
He didn't come back, huh?
He did not come back. My next cat, Garfield, obviously named after the cartoon.
I've never heard of that.
Shot him. Gone. Done. Finished. Blew his brains out across my living room rug.
And you fed his brains to your next cat, Chester.
Chester was the next cat in the lineage of my cats, and Chester met his, I threw him out of a moving car. So I wanted to spell rumors. Midnight Sky is all about giving facts. Humans, however, Portland, if I'm getting this right, you're wondering if there's a do-over or a mulligan?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it sounds like cats, once they're dead, they're done, but can humans come back?
They can.
Like zombies, is that a thing?
No, not zombies, but I've died. I've died 3 times.
He fell off your roof once.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
The other time you were in a dumpster, and the dump truck put you in there and you were run through the mill a couple times.
That's right. Last time I drank a bunch of Windex. I was really thirsty, and it was the first thing that I could get my hands on. And I died each time.
But you came back?
I came back, and that's a good sign for all of us. And Portland caller, you can die, and you can come back. Did you know that?
Wow. That's like Jesus.
You can come back multiple times. It does happen.
Wow. Thank you so much. Now my thesis paper has just been, what's the word?
Made true.
Yeah.
You proved the thesis, right?
Yeah, or you've substantiated it.
Yeah.
You've been able to back up with some actual facts. Behind behind the microphone is me. Behind the other microphone is our sidekick, Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin, with People Forward, it's buying and selling people, and it's making that process a whole lot easier. You've bought in a couple people, and you just what did you do with your people that you bought?
My people, I really just wanted to, like I said, I needed help around the house, so I had them, wash my car tires. I had them get under there, do a lube job, a transmission check, and the great thing about it, you don't have to buy them, you can rent them too for the day, and you just bring them over from whatever country it needs to be. They arrive the next day in a crate. You open it up, give them a snack. They do the transmission fix. You send them back the following day, and it's your one-stop shop for human help.
I once really had a lot of frustration, a lot of anger in my life, and what I decided to do was I bought a person for me to hit and emotionally, physically abuse, and I kept them in a small basket in my basement, locked up.
Yeah, and you'd throw balls and stuff at it.
My person, because I bought them. Anyway, we got a distinguished professor coming over from Leon University in Michigan, Ness Anderson. He says that he's cracked the code to eternal life, and it's in potatoes. So, Professor Ness Anderson on the phone with us. Welcome to Midnight Sky.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I went over your website just a few moments ago, and it's all about is it the starch or is it the glucose? It's something within the raw potato itself that you believe has the potential for everlasting life.
Yes, the potato, I have done a research. I've had a research grant from Ore-Ida potatoes, and I've done extensive research on the natural state of the potato. You can't get eternal life from a cooked potato. Now, keep this in mind. So if you have a frozen potato and you cook that up in the oven or anything of that nature, that's not going to count. But if you eat one raw potato a day, strictly from Ore-Ida, you can see increased life expectancy.
Wow.
And if you eat enough of them, it's only logical that you would, it would be forever, infinite.
One of the things that I found interesting on your website was that you've done a lot of sort of lab testing on lab mice and rats and things like that. Have you seen any sort of, like a side effect that's happening due to just a strict potato-rich, starchy diet?
The only thing we've seen from them is they become obese and die.
Okay, so go on.
But I will let you know that you mentioned, I think I heard you mention People Forward.
Yeah, that's right.
We actually we've purchased people from People Forward. Once all our rats and mice died from our study, we only got 1,000 of them. We started ordering people, and the people, while none of them survived more than 3 weeks on strictly potatoes.
Raw potatoes. We do feel that if they had survived, they would have lived longer. They would have lived longer, sure.
Yeah.
And there's one thing that I thought that was interesting, again, going onto your website here, and you got a whole bunch of different information on this process,
Yes.
the potatoes, the eternal life. It's called eternalpotato.com. And you can, you took a cadaver, and you put potatoes in the cadaver, and while it didn't do anything, it, why don't you finish up with that one?
We feel like while it didn't do anything, technically, we believe that outside of the realm of current science and our understanding, there was some sort of spiritual or otherworldly, other-dimensional force that was created from the insertion of potatoes into the cadaver.
How did you measure that? Do you know? I mean, I'm just saying, do you know how you measure that?
Science doesn't know currently. But let me tell you, at Orida and my research lab, we are strictly continuing research into the effects and the otherworldly effects that this could have on cadavers.
Professor Ness Anderson from Leon, Michigan State
Wow.
University. We wanted to thank you so much for stopping by, and certainly we'll have you on the show here in a couple weeks, as it looks like you're doing some further research on radishes and corn. So,
Yes,
again,
thank you for having me.
Professor Ness Anderson.
Thanks,
Thank you
Professor.
so much. People forward, buying and selling people just got a whole lot easier. Now, it's not just buying, selling, or renting, but you can also, what's the other thing that you can do with these people? You can just get people in
The great thing you can do with People Forward is you can gift people to others. And, we're at the Christmas season here now.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you're a family member or a family friend that has always wanted a helper or a servant or even a child, give the gift of people with People Forward.
That's right, and it's not, you don't just have to buy a full person. You can buy a limb or a foot or a nose or a tongue or an organ or a tooth. My God, I mean, a tooth nowadays is what? Is $35? It's very cheap, and you can get that, and hey, I'd like a tooth or a limb, a clump of hair.
Yeah.
People Forward, buying and selling people just got a whole lot easier. Final call for tonight as we're wrapping up on Midnight Sky. There's a new type of metal out there. It's indestructible. It's like plastic. It feels like plastic, same sort of consistency, but it also tastes like water. What the hell is it? I don't know, but we have a caller coming in from, looks like Jacksonville, Mississippi. Jacksonville?
Yeah, hello.
This new type of metal, it sounds like, and Kevin, you're handing me a sheet of paper here. It looks like you're in some sort of construction field.
Yes, I'm in the construction field, but we've only been able to test this metal a couple times here. We got a building going up here, and I'm one of the lead contractors, so we're putting it on all the floors, and we're going to see if it holds up. We're using People Forward to make sure that, if the building does collapse, it's only on people that we're renting for the day. So
Sure.
This is going great. Here, hey, Martin, can you put more studs over there? Yeah. No, the nails, not the people, you stupid. I gotta go. I gotta run here, but thanks for taking my call.
Didn't get too much information on that new type of metal, but that's all right. And you know what?
It tastes like water, huh?
Yeah, it tastes like water, and it's kind of got that plastic consistency, so who knows? I mean, you put your tongue up to something, and it's got a different sort of taste, a different sort of feel.
Yeah.
People Forward, buying and selling people, just got a whole lot easier. Our title sponsor for today, in fact, our only sponsor for the last 5 hours of radio, where we're desperately asking for more people to just kind of cling on to the dying ship, the sinking Titanic that is this show.
But with People Forward, we could buy people just to be sponsors.
Just to be our listeners as well.
Listeners too.
Listeners and callers, it would be a good sort of method. Buying and selling people with People Forward just got a whole lot easier. Well, for all of us here at Midnight Sky, and when I say all of us, I mean the both of us, and for all of the listeners that, again, hopefully we have out there, Professor Ness Anderson from Leon State University in Michigan, along with our last couple of callers, thank you so much. And by the way, I just wanted to say this as we're fading out, I'm starting to collect birds. I trap them, I net them, and I keep them in my house, and they're just flying around, and God, it's a new hobby. I kind of like it. Kevin?
You could start something called Feathers Forward, and it would be just for birds.
I could rent out birds and sell birds in my house. I don't know. Just an idea, just a thought. Thanks so much for stopping by, and remember, the world is out to get you. Don't get caught. This is Midnight Sky.